There's a county in Kentucky that has the worst life expectancy of any county in the entire United States, and that's related to cardiac disease. There's a county in Kentucky, in rural Appalachian Kentucky, that's considered the most obese county. There are the highest levels of diabetes in rural Appalachia. A colleague of mine who worked in Chicago a long time ago was talking to me about coming to Kentucky to do some service work in Kentucky and I just thought, wait a minute, she's coming from Chicago and I live here. I have to figure out what's going on here. And so that was, many years ago, but I sort of changed my focus of my research. And I changed it to focus on the prevention of cardiovascular disease, especially in areas with disparately high rates of cardiac disease, like rural Appalachian Kentucky. Depressive symptoms can contribute to cardiac disease. They can contribute to the progression once you get it. And depressive symptoms in and of themselves are very debilitating. Cognitive behavioral therapy is a well-respected, well-known type of talking therapy for depressive symptoms that's very effective. It works at the root of changing people's sort of disordered thinking about their current state, and really helps people on a daily basis think about why they're thinking the way they do, and change some of those thoughts patterns and then behaviors that go with them. And we realized that cognitive behavioral therapy was fabulous, but it's not really available to people in rural areas because of the lack of healthcare providers, and also because of lack of mental health care providers, and also because of really concerns about stigma that are common in rural areas where everybody. You're not in some big anonymous parking lot. You're parking right in the front. You get out, everybody knows your truck. Everybody sees you walking in there. If you wanted therapy elsewhere, you had to drive many hours. And so we realized, because of all of these combinations of things, that virtual or online therapy would be perfect in these areas. We're testing actually two different types. One of them where you log into a program and you talk with your therapist and receive cognitive behavioral therapy for depressive symptoms in person. The other option, you go online and there's this whole program set up where it's more self-directed, where you don't have to talk with a therapist. So we're testing these two different methods to see if in-person or more self-directed is better for certain types of people, and we'll be able to identify that. So the most exciting aspect of this project is being able to reach a population who is suffering, and probably often silently, and provide therapy that is going to be effective, and in which we'll be able to answer a lot of other questions about how it should best be delivered, how we can best reach rural people, how you can talk depressed people into being into a study, how you convince them that there'll be benefits. One of the interesting things about this project, we're managing depression, but looking at the impact on other things like medication adherence, physical activity, eating patterns, so food and nutrition, that ultimately all feed back into depression. So if you can improve those things, depression improves. It's a nice big cycle of improvement all around. And so that's a really interesting thing about this project, looking at mechanisms and understanding, how depressive symptoms affect a variety of behaviors that contribute to health overall, and then how treating depressive symptoms really can change all of those factors.